People who have called the number below "How's my driving" on commercial trucks. What happened? I called when a semi was driving fast and ran a stop sign on a small mountain road. The lady that answered the call acted clueless, like, "Why am I calling this number?" I had to tell her that this is the number that is on the back of the truck. How am I driving? I took a picture of it on my phone, so I knew I had the right number. I felt that it was just there for show. Definitely. I called once, and it was a phone sex hotline. Just got an idea for a bumper sticker. Thanks. I called once. It was Canada Day, and I was driving on the 401 through Toronto. Traffic was pretty thick, and cars were doing dumb things. This truck driver beside me took everything in stride and just handled everything so calmly. I called the number on his truck, and the guy on the other end sounded really defensive, like he was waiting for me to tear into him. I gave him the truck's identifying info, and complimented the driver. He was surprised and happy to hear it. I strongly believe that good work should be mentioned to superiors as well as bad work. It's been my New Year's resolution a few years in a row to mention to managers when I get good service. It's not much effort from me, but the recognition could make a big difference to the employee. A pickup truck from a landscaping company almost caused my boyfriend and I to be rammed into oncoming traffic, and when we got next to us at a light he flipped us off and told us to frick off. You bet your ass I called that number. Gave them all the info, color of the dude's shirt, type of sunglasses, etc. Got a call back from the company asking if so-and-so was my mom. Confused I said yes. My mom dated the owner of the company and I grew up with his niece. Dude ended up getting in big trouble. We were apologized to immensely. Not a lot came out of it, but definitely just happy I got a call back. A tow truck driver wasn't paying attention and merged into my lane and almost ran me off the road, so I honked my horn at him, and he responded to that by miming a blowjob at me, so I called the company. Because frick that guy. Yay, that guy has a weird way of saying sorry. My mechanic had part of his building destroyed by a tow truck driver. Guy was flooring it on the feeder road, service road for non-Houstonians, on a rainy day when they were closed. He was going almost 80, lost control, spun out, hit 3 cars in the parking lot, then hit the corner of the building while still airborne. Somehow the truck wasn't that messed up, but the building frame had to get repaired. The tow truck driver would have done a hit and run, but while he was inspecting his truck he accidentally locked himself out of his truck with the engine running. County sheriffs didn't want to take any statements, but the mechanic bitched them out. He's a 70-year-old Vietnamese man. The cops didn't stand a chance. Tow truck driver tried to claim some bullshit act of God stuff about how he was exiting the freeway and swerve to avoid hitting other drivers. Luckily my mechanic had a camera and the transmission shops next door had another camera pointed further back. All the footage showed he was the only person on the road the whole time, and he was going nearly double the speed limit. Took a few months, but my mechanic finally got the building fixed. See how everyone is bad. My wife called once cause their driver avoided an accident. Some idiot switched lanes without looking, and the van handled it like a champ. If he hadn't we all would have been in an accident. So wife called and left a good review telling them that person is paying attention. Edit, answered when all the replies were because of bad driving. Glad to hear some people call in for something good. South on I-5, 70 miles per hour in the left lane, cruise control. In the right lane was a FedEx double trailer tailgating a car doing 55 miles per hour, legal limit for trucks in Oregon. Decided to cut me off with about 20-foot bumper to bumper, brake checks me then crawls past the car on the right at 56 miles per hour. As I passed him, he flipped me off so I got back behind him to get the number and his plate. Passed him and called. I guess the color of the arrow indicates whether it's international or not, either green or purple. I don't remember which is which, but he was international. It didn't sound like they were pleased with his actions, and I guess they can track him by GPS, so hopefully he was let go, but I doubt it. Edit, brake check. Typing faster than my brain. Some old biddy got cranky and started arguing that it was my fault the driver ran the stop sign and hit my car. As it so happens, the guy in the Porsche behind me was a civil attorney. He asked to talk to her, so I handed him the phone. 5 minutes later, I had his business card and a promise from the old biddy to pay my insurance deductible. That's a wild lawyer. They are usually only seen in firms, so consider yourself very lucky. I do. I never did have to hire him. They made good on the check. I brought him donuts at his office, though. There's two types of people in this world that can put the fear of God in just about anyone: Irish mothers and righteously angry lawyers. Once was in the company van with some co-workers on workbees. You know the deal. Company van had the company name and phone number on the side, etc. Anyway, some old bitch was driving aggressively and not looking super carefully as she was doing so. She tried to cut us off, failed to succeed, began honking and flipping the bird. Pulled out her phone as she was driving, and immediately called the company number. She was apparently rude to the boss when she called in. I have no idea what kind of day she was having, but she was definitely angling to ruin somebody else's. One time I was driving around with a friend and saw one of those, and just for the hell of it, I called the number. First they asked lots of questions about when and where, and finally asked for the reason I was calling. I told them I was just calling to let them know they were doing a good job. Person I spoke to seemed a bit taken aback, but my friend and I thought it was hilarious. TL, doctor, called once to compliment the driver on their safe driving. One time I saw a car cut a truck off, and the driver prevented a big crash with their quick maneuvering. It was bumper to bumper traffic half a mile later, and I was right behind the truck driver, so I called the number on the back of the truck and I just left a voicemail explaining what happened, and that whoever was driving that truck did a great job. I'd forgotten all about that. Hopefully they got a bonus or something. Saw some crackhead acting a fool in an ad truck. Called the number. Woman literally spent 20 minutes trying to get me to cough up my account number, while I spent 20 minutes trying to convey that I don't have an AAT account at all, and that shouldn't even matter. At minute 19 I exploded and just rudely gave her the truck number and said, you guys better keep an eye on this stupid motherfucker before he kills someone. People like this rarely just kill their dumbest selves, and something like, if he swerves at me again, I won't move, and when I get sideswiped I'm gonna frick his world up, then I'm gonna frick up at's bank account. Good day sir. Then hung up. I hated sounding like an internet tough guy, but needing an account number to bitch about a shitty driver is nunas. The woman who answered took my statement, then passive aggressively argued with me that their drivers don't drive like that, and I must have misinterpreted his driving. Bitch, he speeded up, cut me off on a lake merge, and nearly shoved me into the curb. Lucky for me, I ended up in a driveway just missing the curb check. I was waiting in line at a fast food place once, and the driver in front of me accelerated so quickly that he almost hit me. There was 2 lines, and I was the next to move up, but he selfishly beat me to it. Then he proceeded to yell at me and curse at me. I saw his "how's my driving" sticker on his bumper, and I called the number to complain that this guy almost hit my car by being a dickhead. The lady who was doing the reporting sounded so disinterested, told me she was going to send the report over to the correct people, and that was it. Don't know if anything resulted out of it, lol. Not a "how's my driving" story, but it's relevant. About 9 years ago I was walking my dog along the fence outside of a park. I did this every evening. This particular neighborhood had no sidewalks or speed bumps. They actually added speed bumps a couple of years ago after many accidents involving children, including one death. Speed limit there is 15 miles per hour. The roads are narrow. Anyway, as I was walking my dog, a group of kids were leaving the playground. I was standing in the grass and a car turned the corner doing at least 40 miles per hour. zooming between me and the children on the other side of the street. I noticed that the vehicle belonged to a pizza delivery driver. There was a magnetic sign on the side of the vehicle. I didn't catch the name or phone number. I googled nearby pizza places on my way home. Ended up finding one with the exact same logo on the vehicle. It was about 10 minutes away. I called and asked for the manager. Owner got on the phone. I explained that I wasn't 100% sure because I didn't get the name of the restaurant as the driver was going too fast. I simply explained what I witnessed. He then asked the color and type of car. I gave him my best description. He then sounded very irritated. He named the park where it occurred and told me that it was definitely his employee. He said the employee didn't even work, that they shouldn't even have a magnet on his vehicle if he's not on duty. His exact words were freaking stupid a-hole doing stupid shit with the name of company. That's where he lives, and so he should know the speed limit there. I have children of my own. He can't drive for me anymore. He thanked me for calling. Hung up. I was proud of myself. Prickhead deserved to be fired.